Yun is truly an outstanding character. Back in the Flower Sect, Xiao Yan saved her and even helped her absorb the sealed energy of Granny Hua, the previous sect leader. That energy, by the way, belonged to a 9-star Dou Zun. And very soon, we are about to witness another meeting between Xiao Yan and Yun. This time, it will take place in the ancient wasteland, on the path to the Bodhisattva tree. The Flower Sect also could not miss the chance to obtain the Bodhisattva's treasure. They were led personally by their leader, Yun. By now, she had already reached the level of 8-star Dou Zun, and we could see the Dou Zun halo shining behind her. Unfortunately, they were ambushed by enemies, the Spiritual Sky Sect. This was the very same faction to which Yaohua Lingjun belonged. In the past, several of their Dou Zun elders had ambushed Xiao Yan on his way back from the Flower Sect. Clearly, they were true enemies of Xiao Yan. Your support through likes and comments is very important, as it helps promote the video. Yun, together with Nalan Yenran, was fleeing at top speed from their powerful pursuers. The members of the Spiritual Sky Sect launched a vile sneak attack while they were still engaged with ferocious beasts, which led to the death of Elder Qinghua. Clenching her teeth, Yun swore that once she returned, she would gather the full strength of her sect and fight the Spiritual Sky Sect to the death. Now, as the official sect leader of the Flower Sect, Yun had already refined all of Granny Hua's Dou Qi. Her strength had firmly reached the level of 8-star Dou Zun, so none of the elders dared to oppose her. Among the entire group of the Flower Sect, there had been only one 9-star Dou Zun expert, but she had been killed in the treacherous ambush. Their overall power had dropped drastically. Yun, at 8 stars, was now the strongest among them. But the enemy's side held not just one but 2 9-star Dou Zun experts. The situation was extremely dire. Yun was already preparing to sacrifice her life to hold back the enemies so that Nalan Yenran and the others could escape. As the sect leader, she took full responsibility. But at that very moment, nearly 10 enemies surrounded them, cutting off all paths of retreat. Among them, to everyone's shock, was Yaohua Lingjun, the very man who had once tried to kill Xiao Yan. Unexpectedly, he had survived, even after taking the full brunt of He Qing's fist strike. Lu Cong, the vice leader of the Spiritual Sky Sect, gave the order to kill everyone except Yun and Nalan Yenran. The Flower Sect experts released their Dou Qi and charged. Yun also fought back. Her mighty Dou Qi burst forth, striking a Spiritual Sky Sect expert so hard that he spat blood. But 2 more opponents attacked her immediately after, forcing her into a deadly struggle. Then, another treacherous strike made her cough blood, and her body was hurled violently against a solid rock wall. Gritting her teeth, Yun braced herself for death. She gathered all her remaining strength to meet the next attack, when suddenly a fierce wind descended from the sky, carrying with it a dazzling golden light. Before her eyes, a colossal figure landed, swinging its fist and smashing Yaohua Lingjun in an instant. The horrifying power turned the shocked man into nothing more than a pile of flesh. Terror flashed across the faces of the Spiritual Sky Sect experts as they saw what had happened. They stared at the golden giant in horror and quickly retreated. Dogs of the Spiritual Sky Sect are capable only of despicable tricks, thundered the voice of the golden giant, Xiao Yan. We had already talked about the glazed giant body technique in a previous video. Here it was, in action. The golden giant had appeared suddenly. Lu Cong, seeing Yaohua Lingjun torn to pieces, unleashed his most powerful technique, the Infernal Dragon Fist of Majesty, conjuring a massive black dragon from Dou Qi that roared and charged ferociously at the enemy. But the giant, without using any elaborate techniques, merely clenched his fist and punched straight at the dragon. Space itself cracked, the black creation shattered, and the residual force knocked Lu Cong off his feet, sending him flying back a great distance. The giant's strength clearly corresponded to the level of a second-stage 9-star Dou Zun, which surpassed Lu Cong's power. Furious, Lu Cong commanded everyone to attack together. 10 Dou Zun experts, including several elders, unleashed their techniques all at once. But the golden giant, like a metal statue, walked straight into the storm of attacks, tearing apart the space with his blows. All techniques were destroyed, and the fighters of the Spiritual Sky Sect, apart from Lu Cong and an old man in a bamboo hat, collapsed to the ground, bleeding and losing consciousness. Lu Cong, panicked, tried to flee, but he didn't make it far. A terrifying force invaded his body, reducing his organs and even his bones to dust. The golden giant then appeared before Yun and the shocked elders of the flower sect, having just finished off Lu Tsong with a single strike. Moments later, several more figures emerged in the empty space. Yun turned her gaze to the group and froze in shock when her eyes fell on a cold yet beautiful woman. She immediately recognized her, the Queen Medusa. Long ago, they had fought each other in the desert. Kai Lin frowned slightly upon seeing Yun and greeted her calmly. Then, the golden giant's body rapidly shrank, and in the blink of an eye, Xiao Yan stood before them. He looked at Yun and Nalan Yenran and asked if they were all right. Yun stared in disbelief at his familiar face. Finally, she came to her senses and let out a bitter laugh. "It really is you." Xiao Yan took out several pills, giving them to Yun and Nalan Yenran, and asked them to distribute the medicine to the wounded. Then he asked why they had come here. It turned out that they had also entered the ancient desert region. Along the way, they had attracted the attention of savage beasts, and because of that, the spiritual sky sect ambushed them. Elder Qinghua had been killed as a result. Only thanks to Xiao Yan's timely intervention had they survived. Yun turned to Kai Lin and said, "I never expected to meet you here." Back when Yun was still in the Jiama Empire, she had once received an invitation from Gu He to journey into the Tagar Desert to seize the essence of the blue lotus flame from Medusa. Later, Kai Lin had appeared in the Yunlan sect because of Xiao Yan. Overall, their encounters had never ended well. The two women had always been rivals. Naturally, neither of them had expected to meet under such circumstances. Xiao Yan felt a little awkward, clearly sensing the tension between the two women. At that moment, an elder of the flower sect approached him and thanked him for his help. After all, the Falling Star Pavilion had always maintained good relations with the flower sect. Xiao Yan then suggested that they continue their journey together. Their combined strength would be greater if their groups united. Yun, of course, immediately agreed. Over the past few days, they had already faced many dangers, and their own power alone would not be enough to reach the ancient Bodhi tree. From that moment on, the flower sect experts, along with Yun and Nalan Yenran, joined Xiao Yan's group. But this was only the beginning of their adventures in the ancient wasteland. Thank you very much for watching. Write in the comments how you feel about this reunion of Xiao Yan and Yun. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and see you next time.